Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Crystalis. In the last part we started off the game and guided to the second town, which has a name I cannot remember. And now we're going to continue on. I'm only talking to these guys now since I can. They hint towards something later in the game, so yeah. There's a couple things we can do in town. Well, first off, I'm going to rest at the inn, obviously. But I'm not going to be able to show most of it off until later. Like, there's some stuff I can buy at the shop, but I don't have enough money and such. So right now we just need to talk to Akahana here and learn that he lost his statue, and we have to go find it. Luckily, it's not that far of a walk. The enemies here are rather easy. Just watch out for the axes they throw, because at this point, if you're me, you don't have a shield, and because of that, your defense against projectile attacks sucks. Ow! That there is a swamp. If you step in that, you'll slowly take damage. However, the rabbit boots we got last part, if you just keep on jumping, you won't take any damage. And here's the statue. Keep in mind that little bridge there for later. I'm gonna actually cut back there a couple times. Anyway, let's equip that statue and give that to him. Okay, apparently I have to talk to him first. I think I mentioned it last part, but the way you talk to people is just by running into them. You don't actually have to press a button. But anyway, for giving him the statue, we got the gas mask, which we need to get to the next area because, as someone in this channel mentioned, the next area is filled with a gas that poisons you. Just continually jump, you'll be good. Also, we can't hurt those guys, so run away! Anyway, here's where we need to go. Get the gas mask out, because, well, this is the area that has the gas in it that poisons you. Pretty much, if you didn't have the gas mask equipped and you entered here, you'd slowly be taking damage. There's a couple enemies in here. These little insects which we can kill with, I think, 3 shots. These weird pink pollen things that are on the background, they're rather odd. And also these flying bugs, who we can't damage yet, but can do a crap load of damage to us, so run. Hey, there's the pink pollen thing. Anyway, welcome to the town of Oak, which is actually the dwarves' village as it is. However, for right now, all they're telling us is to go in peace. Would you kindly please shove off, essentially? You can't, what am I trying to say here? This is an event trigger, so you actually need to come here and talk to these guys. You cannot sequence break and go to where you need to go first. So now that we've done that, we're actually going to head back to where the bridge is, momentarily. Or so I thought, I suppose. Huh. Oh well. Get to hear more of this game's awesome music. This game's soundtrack really is just great. I could have sworn I cut that out, but okay then. Anyway, we want to head north of the bridge here, so we can find this house. This is Tornell. He's one of the wise men of the world. And Stom here is who he's training, and however, to get something from Tornell, we actually need to beat him by mashing the B button. However, as you notice, he kind of kicks your ass. A lot of people think that you just have to get stronger in order to beat him, like be at like level 7 or so at this point, but in reality, he actually does get easier the more and more you fight him. He's programmed to do that. I think this was attempt number 4 that I beat him on. Anyway, he gave us the telepathy spell, which allows us to talk with those dwarves back at that village. Also, he tells us to keep in mind if we ever find a tornado bracelet to bring it to him. Now, the telepathy spell, it's not only just for talking to those dwarves. By the way, I grind for around 400 gold here. But I ended up getting the next level up as well, just because I could. The telepathy spell also allows you to talk with the 4 wise men, or rather 3 wise men and 1 wise woman throughout the world, 2 of which we haven't even met yet, mind you, and give you hints to where you need to go next. That there was the pawn shop. That is where you sell things in the game, because you actually can't sell them at the item shop. Anyways, at this point I'm buying the bronze shield, so now we actually have shield defense. Yeah, 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven, I didn't even notice that. So now we'll be taking much less damage from projectile attacks. Anyway, when you come back to the village, you'll notice that people are still pretty much telling you to shove off. However, that one person in there says, "My son's missing, can you help me find him?" They don't actually tell you where he is, but I'll tell you right now, he's actually in the forest. Just follow where I'm going and you should find him, no problem. There you are, you little crap. Die, pink pollen thing. Seriously, what the hell is that supposed to be? I think if you just continuously level up, you might eventually be able to damage that flying bug, but I'm not sure. I know something we're about to do will be able to damage it, but I'm not sure if you just level up if that'll work. Because the enemies in this game actually do have elemental affinities, but it's not blatantly obvious until fairly shortly. Anyway, now the mom's indebted to us forever, and we get the insect flute, which is actually how you make the next boss show up, so make sure you keep that in mind. Also, come up here and talk to the Elder, and he'll give us the Sword of Fire, the best sword in the game. Well, it becomes the best sword in the game. Why? Well, you'll find out later. But now we can actually damage those flying bugs with this thing and its charge attack. At the tool shop here, you can actually get a Fruit of Power, which is an item that restores your MP. So that's pretty useful. You might need a couple of those later on. And the inn here costs 40 gold, which is $40 actually, as it more accurately is. So that's kind of ridiculous, but nothing I'm not used to. Anyway, now we're gonna head right for the boss in this area, actually. Also, you know what's kind of stupid, actually? In regards to how the flying bugs don't get hurt by the Sword of Wind. In the Game Boy Color version, they changed that. In the Game Boy Color version, every enemy has no elemental affinity, so you can hit them with anything, and I find that stupid. Anyway, right here, we got the boss of the area. This giant-ass bug. Holy hell. You can only hit this thing, I think, directly in the center of its face, so just attack when it's not attacking. In reality, though, the only really challenging thing about this fight isn't the guy itself. It's the bug that flies around trying to help him. You can kill the bug, too, in, I think, 3 shots, but, I'd just go for the main guy. If you ever get low on HP, keep an eye on your HP, though, because it will deplete much faster than you'd think when you're not looking. So make sure you keep an eye on that and your finger near the A button should you need to heal. You know, this guy kind of reminds me of one of the Blaster Master bosses. At least he explodes gloriously. And now we got the Ball of Fire, so now let's equip that. Screw you, Ball of Wind, I don't think I'm ever going to need you again. We now get the best attack in the game. Essentially, it's like the wind attack, except it can hit multiple times, and it's stronger overall. Because while it looks like it's actually hitting the enemy once, due to the fact that it has multiple sprites to it, it's actually hitting the enemy multiple times. And let me tell you, that is ridiculously good. Not as ridiculously good as, say, the Blue Mage in Final Fantasy V, but still really good. Anyway, I'm only returning here so we can get some sort of plot resolution to this, I suppose. So yeah, now we're just a hero to them. Yay! However, like I mentioned, you can now defeat certain enemies that you couldn't before with the Fire Sword, like that mushroom thing that I tried to kill earlier. We can now murder it with this sword, as I shall demonstrate momentarily, I think. But I'm showing this, so that probably means I do. Yep. It's here that I once again do another level grind. The best place for this is to use either the flying bugs in the forest or the mushrooms themselves. And I grinded for 500 gold because I could. It's here I'm actually going to use the pawn shop because I want to sell my old armor and just trade up for some new stuff. I don't think the armors have elemental affinities, actually. No, they probably don't, if I recall correctly, at least. Anyway, now I'm going to come in here and buy the leather armor because it's such a better piece of equipment. 612... 1212! That is... Now we're balanced. And here's what the tool shop has here, I suppose, if you want to see that. And now we're actually going to head for the next area. We're pretty much done in this part of the map for right now. We'll be back here later, obviously, but... yeah. And when you get to the next area, head south. By the way, keep that water there in mind for later, because that might become pertinent. And the next area is actually not very far at all. It's just to the southwest of us. However, I should mention that I'm actually going to be doing some level grinding once again in between parts. I'm just going to grind for the next level. I just stuck in this area of the map, killing these mushrooms over and over again. It took me around half hour, so it wasn't anything too big, but you might want to keep that in mind for later. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 3, we shall check out this next area coming up. See you guys then.